What's up, fellas? My name's Ian, and this is Road to Advanced, where I try to get bigger and stronger the best way I know how. Horsing heavy weights. Alright, fellas, let's get into it. The week went pretty good. I've been dialing in on my form. I've been sleeping and eating better. I'll get into more on that later, but just going over everything really quick right now. Getting into mobility, which is allowing me to get into better positions for basically all my lifts, especially lower body lifts. My lower body mobility was absolutely trash and probably still is, honestly. I'm finally seeing some gains from cardio. My work capacity has grown a little. I'm not as tired at the very end of my workouts. I'm able to, just keep pushing at the very end. Like, if you have an upper day, a really hard one, and at the end of it, you have to do your arms, dude, and you're just completely gassed because you've already done bench press, back, the whole array of an upper day, and then you get to arms and you're just like, I might as well slog through this because I don't want to leave to the gym, but you're already way fatigued. You can barely, lift even, but you still manage to throw an arm workout together. You manage, you get pumped up, you feel pretty good about it, and you leave the gym, right? All's good, but think about how that affects your arm growth in the long run, right? If all you do for arms is like 25% of what you could be doing, thinking about how much bigger your arms could be. And I guess this is only only applies to people that do arms at the end of their workouts. And I do mine in the middle just because they're a bit bigger than my shoulders. Whatever, that's minutia. That doesn't matter. Anyways, just think about it, dude. If you weren't tired while you were doing your arms, if you're at like 75% instead of 25, think about how much bigger your arms would be. Like, this is why you need to do your cardio, because you need to be at that 75% at that end of your workout so you can keep pushing as hard as possible, Because if you aren't pushing everything as hard as possible, then some areas are just going to be lagging. And there's no way around that. Absolutely no way around it. Which is why you should, do your cardio. So you can do everything. Well, not everything, but everything on your program. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, another point that I wanted to make was getting into mobility. I'm not huge into mobility yet, but, I'm doing a little bit here and there, trying to figure out different stretches, trying to figure out how to stretch out different muscles and tendons and, help my body get into a position that is helpful for lifting, because in day-to-day life, like, I don't know, if you're watching this and you have a restaurant job, I guess you'll understand. But like, if you're moving around a lot, you're on your feet in some shitty shoes and I don't know, you're always just active with your body in very short, repetitive, hard motions, you're going to be pretty tired and beat up at the end of the day, especially your joints, tendons, and most importantly, from these three, probably connective tissue, at least in this example. Because, like, I don't know, let's say you're cutting chicken. This is what I did today. I just cut chicken for almost 8 hours straight, dude. I'm not even joking. My wrist and arm and back on my right side it wants to lock up at the end of the day. Like, it's very hard to move. I don't know if you heard that pop. That was my shoulder. It'd be really cool if that popped up on the video, but that's completely besides the point. Anyways, doing a little bit of mobility, dude, I don't know how to say it, honestly. It helps it so much just in like feeling better, because me, before I started actually caring about stretching and mobility compared to the me after that, it's insane, dude. Like, you feel so much better even in day-to-day life. Like, my back isn't as, cramped up. No, not cramped up. It's my lower back is usually really tight, but now since I'm stretching, getting into mobility, dude, I just keep repeating those same two words, but it just feels so much better. And I'm able to, especially with my squat, get into better positions for lifting, because when you're able to put your body in certain positions that you weren't able to before, like there's a stretch where you put a barbell on top of your knees in a squat and you press down on the barbell. So you're pressing down on your knees and it's stretching your ankles out, which obviously is going to make it easier to squat, because if your ankles are more stretched out, then that means you can drive your knees further forward. And when you can drive your knees further forward, you can recruit more of your quad muscles and just grow your quads even more. And it just helps you get into that much better of a position to squat, instead of just completely relying on your hips and basically just deadlifting the weight up, or good morning it up, as most people say, because my squats used to be horrible. Like, my feet used to be outside of my hips, pointed 45 degrees outwards, which I guess that's okay. It's like a sumo squat, but it's not really going to do much for my quads, because my knees are going over my toes, but they're not going that far forward. They're barely moving, When you have your legs at that far of a diagonal, it's very hard for your quads to kind of get into the movement. Basically, they're just there as a stabilizer to make sure your knees don't cave together, which is basically what is going on during a sumo squat. But now I'm able to keep my feet closer together while still going to depth and not falling over. I'm getting to the minutia of it. Mobility is amazing. Go stretch, go lift weights and get fucking huge, dude. I swear to God, mobility might be the secret. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, honestly. Like, you look at Larry Wheels. Go look up a video of Larry Wheels running and tell me if he should go do mobility. Just those who know. Whatever. I'm going to move on from mobility because I really don't have a lot to speak about it. But my form has gotten a lot better because, it's just what I've been focusing on during the cut, because it's very hard for me to add weight during the cut because, you're getting lighter. You just are able to move less weight. This is basic stuff. But since my form has been getting better at the same weights, technically, in a weird way, that means I'm getting stronger. Let me explain. If you're lifting the same weights at a lighter body weight, your relative strength is going up. But if you're also increasing your form, it also means you're getting stronger at the lift. If that makes sense. It might not be. Tell me if I'm just completely out to lunch with this one. And I guess I mainly attribute that to my sleep and nutrition being a little bit more dialed in for the past couple weeks. It's I've just felt amazing for the past week, dude. I don't know what it is, but I've been feeling a lot better. And also, I guess the reason why I'm still, technically getting a little bit stronger on these lifts is just because I'm not really that far advanced, Some of my lifts are honestly still beginner level, especially like my lower body ones, because I started out at Planet Fitness, and honestly, dude, go on a Planet Fitness leg press and tell me that you want to do that from week to week, day in, day out, every single time you're in there, and you're going to use that to blow your legs up. Dude, it fucking sucks. I hate working my legs out at Planet Fitness, dude. I can't do it. I hate Smith squats. I just haven't learned them yet. It's a skill that I need to learn. It's a tool that needs to be added to my box. But I just can't bring myself to do it, dude. I would just rather horse around heavy weights instead of fuck around at Planet Fitness. And I'm not dogging on any Planet Fitness enjoyers. Some of the most jacked dudes I've seen worked out at Planet Fitness. I'm not even lying. When I first started out, I saw some crazy physiques in there. Honestly, you go into Planet Fitness past like 9 p.m., your mind will be blown, dude. Go try it or something. Go get a day pass. I swear to God, dude. The next Mr. Olympia is probably working out at a Planet Fitness right now. He's not doing that. I'm joking. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this up, fellas. I'll see you guys next week. Leave a comment if there's any questions about my training, or I guess tell me about your training, dude. I want to hear about it. If you're still watching to the end of this video, and there's no more video. So I'll see you next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.